guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to finally my favorite brushes video. Woo woo! I've been talking about doing this for like literally 6 months and here we are. So today, like I just said, I'm going to be sharing with you all of my favorite brushes. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. Well, not as fast as I can, but I'm going to try to get through this quickly so you're not sitting here forever. I used to not care about brushes. I used to just kind of use whatever I had, or like my fingers, or I just wasn't into makeup, so I didn't know that all these brushes existed. But now, over the years of watching videos and trying things out for myself, I have a bunch of brushes that I love, that I can't live without, that I really think make a difference in my makeup application. Definitely think it's gotten better. It's not perfect. I'm not a pro or anything, but brushes definitely help place products where you want them, blend them out the way you want them, and just good quality brushes are just a good thing to invest in. And not that these are expensive. I have mostly drugstore. I have Real Techniques, some Luxie brushes, I do have Sigma, I have Morphe, and then I have some other MAC and like Marc Jacobs high-end brushes. So I'm kind of just gonna go by category, like foundation, blush, bronzer, contour, that kind of thing, just to make it as easy as I can. All of these will be listed down below. In fact, I am a Sigma affiliate, which this video is not sponsored by Sigma. That just means if you buy through my links, it helps me out a little bit, so thank you if you do. But they're giving me a discount code, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Amy10. For 10% off your whole order, so we're still emailing back and forth getting the discount code perfected, but I will put it on the screen right here and it will be linked down below as well. So we're gonna start first with foundation. Now I am a firm beauty sponge girl. Like, I love them. I didn't jump on the bandwagon quite as quickly as everybody else, but now that I'm on it, I'm not getting off. So this is the original Beauty Blender. This is the beige blush color or something, I don't know. I don't have the original hot pink one, but I love this one. This one is not currently wet. But lately I've been using the Morphe Flawless Beauty Sponge. They have a couple different sponges. This one is my favorite. I think it is a total Beauty Blender dupe. This is my second or third one and I haven't looked back because the Beauty Blender is $20 and this is about $7. But if you use Jaclyn Hill's discount code, you can get 10% off, and I just have a hard time now paying the $20 when I can get this for so cheap, and I love this. I love to apply my foundation with a sponge because I think it just helps make everything look a little bit more natural, just kind of really airbrushes it out and makes everything just seep together. And I just really like the finished effect. Sometimes when I use a brush for foundation, there can be like brush lines, some unevenness, and with this, I don't get that. Everything is blended beautifully. And I love this one in particular because it has this like acorn shape for holding. So you use the flat side for foundation or whatever, and then you can use the pointed tip for under eye concealer. I've been using it for highlighter, which I just demonstrated in my last video, which I will link up there. So I just freaking love this thing, and same for this. I love them both equally. This is just a better price. So I mainly put on my foundation with a sponge. But if I'm not, I will reach for the Morphe M439 brush. I love this. I used to love the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush. Can't believe I just pulled that out of my ass. I did love that mine molted on me after like 2 or 3 years. It just completely fell apart. And I had just gotten this one and I kind of haven't looked back. I like this one a little bit better because it's more of a rounded top. The other one was flat, and I just think that's better for just blending in, and I do really like this brush. It's flat and dense, so it's perfect for like buffing things into your skin, and I love it. I have a couple other Sigma brushes kind of from that same line. This is the Sigma Angled Kabuki. This is the F84. This would also be good for foundation because it's angled so you can get like in some of the crevices. I personally use it for cream contour, which I guess I should have saved this for the contour section, but I have it in my foundation brush holder situation. Which, if you're curious, I get questions on this all the time. I got this at Target for $10, and I got it a long time ago. It just has 4 sections, so I kind of have like miscellaneous brushes, powder brushes, foundation brushes, blush brushes. So that's what I meant when I said it's in my foundation section. But it would also be good for foundation, not just contouring. And then I also have this Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86. I love this one because it comes to like a pointed tapered thing at the tip. It's really nice for blending under eye concealer if you like something a little bit like bigger and fluffier and thicker. But again, it would make a nice foundation brush or a good cream contour brush. I love this brush. I forgot about it for a little bit, but I love it. And then something a little newer to me, this is the Real Techniques All Over Face brush. This is kind of like a rip-off, not a rip-off, a dupe of the Artiste brushes, which I've never tried, but this is fabulous. I really, really like it. It's just huge, and it's amazing too for bringing the foundation down your neck. Oh, and it feels nice. But I love these brushes because I find that you use a little less product when you use these, because I don't know, something about it just really gets it into your skin. And again, I feel like this leaves me kind of with like a flawless look, kind of like my beauty blender, and it just feels nice and it's fun, so love that. And it's Real Techniques, so it's affordable. Now I have a couple powder brushes. I don't use a whole lot of like all over face powder, so I use these in kind of different ways. This is the Real Techniques Bold Metals 100 brush. It has a fancier name than that, but I just know that's 100. It's a really nice fluffy powder brush, but what I love to use this for is to wipe away the fallout under my eye if I ever get any. And it is nice to use all over your face, but that is mainly what I use this for, just because it's so fluffy and nice that it doesn't really like mess up the rest of your makeup. It just gets that away. If I am going in with an all over face powder or something, I like to use my Real Techniques powder brush. It's huge, it's really nice. I've had this forever, either to press it in or to buff it in. It works both ways, and this is my favorite all over powder brush. I have my favorite bronzing brushes, which let's just go ahead and start with my favorite brush of all time. Number one, this is the Marc Jacobs The Bronze brush. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful in your life? The answer is no. I freaking love this. I have two of them, and it's white. I have both of them. But this is my favorite bronzing brush ever. Like, I am obsessed with this. It just disperses the product so beautifully and evenly, no matter what product you're using. I've never actually used this with cream. I use a different Marc Jacobs brush with my cream bronzers, but I'm sure it would be beautiful with cream. And I know it's like big and fluffy, but something about it just like, you guys, it's the best. This is the most expensive brush I own and that I'll be talking about today. It is $80. But I freaking love it. Next time there's a Sephora VIB sale, I highly suggest you pick yourself up one, because like, this is it. If somebody stole this from my house, if somebody stole both of my brushes, I would repurchase it because I love it. That other Marc Jacobs brush I was talking about is the Face 1 brush, which I guess technically is for foundation. For me, it's a little bit too like big and fluffy for foundation, so I like to use this with my Chanel Soleil de Tan de Chanel, wow. My universal cream bronzer from them. I just swirl it in there and then buff it onto my skin, and I love the finish it gives with this brush. I love it. This one I've had for a really long time, not even, I think they discontinued it, so I shouldn't even say it. It's the Morphe S19. I really feel like they discontinued it, so I'm just gonna put it down. But this has been my latest obsession lately. This is the Real Techniques Point L brush. It's kind of like a fluffy domed brush that comes to a point, and L is for large because this comes in a bunch of different shapes, which I have a few of them, but this one is my favorite. Been using it every day with my number 7 bronzer. I used it today, and it's just the best because it's fluffy, but it also has that point so you can get it where you want it, and I am just obsessed with it, and I haven't put it down. And it's drugstore, which is great. Now moving on to blush brushes. Blush is my favorite, guys. And I love all of these. Like, I don't know if I could pick a favorite. The one I use the most, because this is the one I like to use the most with my Physicians Formula Butter blushes, this is the Morphe G8 brush. It's really hard when blush and brush are in the same sentence. And I've used mine so much that it's kind of being pushed to the back, so it's kind of lost its original shape, but I still love it anyway. So it was kind of a tapered blush brush, as you can see, and it's just the best. I love it so much. I also love the MAC 168 kind of contoured blush brush. I literally love this, and I like MAC brushes. This is probably my favorite MAC brush that I own, and it's just like the perfect shape, because a lot of the like angled contour brushes can be a little bit bigger than this, but I just think it's the perfect shape for the apples of your cheeks. And speaking of the apples of your cheeks, I love the Real Techniques 300 blush brush. I love the Bold Metals line. That's what this was from, and then I have a couple others to share as well. I love this just for like getting color right in the apples of your cheeks. It's just like the perfect shape. Kind of reminds me of that new Fenty Beauty foundation brush, so I don't know if it's a dupe. I've never tried this for foundation. I don't know. But for packing on blush color, I love this one. And these Real Techniques Bold Metals ones come clean so well. That's important to me for some reason. I like a brush to come really clean when I clean it. And then two more, which I use for blush, but I also kind of use for blending things out. This is the Sigma Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush F15. I love this for just blending things out. Like, it is the best when you've gone a little bit overboard and you just need to blend it out. Both of these. This is also good for that as well. This is the Real Techniques Blush Brush. I love the pink handle, and it has the fluffy taperedness as well. Both of these I use for blush and for blending things out. I will use either of these if I have a blush that's a little bit higher in pigment and I'm kind of scared to use it. Because, like, I don't know, it's just a little bit more fluffy so you can get less product. So Love both of those for the same reason. I have a couple other like under eye powder brushes that I love. This is the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35. I use this every day underneath my eyes and I love it. And along the same lines is the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki F79. I use this all the time, again under my eyes, but I also use this all over my face to set wherever I put concealer. It's just the perfect like round domed shape that just like is great for pressing, and I love it. And then a cheaper option of the Sigma one is the Real Techniques BO2. This was like their blue collection, but I really like it. They're really soft, and again, it's that nice shape for under your eyes, but this is also good for contouring as well. Love it. Speaking of contouring, I have some contour brushes, which here is that other Real Techniques Bold Metals brush. Ooh, this one has seen better days. This is the 301 flat contour brush, and I love this. I have a few of these where they're just flat because they're great for kind of placing the product where you want, but then they're a little bit dense and fluffy so you can then blend it out. So I love that for contouring, but I also love the Sigma Accentuate Highlighter. Even though it's for highlighter, I use it for contour. It's really nice for just kind of stamping it out and then rubbing it in, but you could use it for stamping highlighter as well. Along the same lines, I love this brush. This is the Morphe R10. It's kind of got that same shape at the top where it comes to kind of like a flat, fluffy point, but it's fluffy, so you get a really nice natural looking contour, and I love this. I heard Jaclyn Hill talk about this. I heard Jaclyn Hill talk about all these brushes, let's be real. But I just am obsessed with this, and I kind of forgot about it. I need to use that again. And then I have two kind of like finer contour brushes. This is the Morphe E8, which I've been using a lot as of lately, and it's just really perfect for just getting the product where you want it. Contour can be kind of scary because it's like a dark brown color you're putting on your face, so something a little bit more chiseled and like to the point, if you know what I mean, is a little bit easier. And then it's also fluffy so you can blend it out. And then I just have like a Sigma version of the same thing, the Sigma Extreme Structure Contour F04. This one's a little bit longer and like fluffier, but same thing, just comes to like a finer point that's easier for contouring. Woo! That was the face brushes! Now I have my favorite eye brushes. It's a lot of blending brushes. My favorite blending brushes are the Luxie 205 Tapered Blending Brush. I have 3 of these. I love them. I use them every time I do an eyeshadow look just for building up color. They're just really big and fluffy to get it all over, and I have like one clean for blending and I have some with colors on them, and it's just really nice to have 3 of them. But I also have one in a little bit of a smaller shape. This is the 229 Tapered Blending. So it's kind of the same shape but just a little bit smaller to get more into the crease, and I love it. But I also have some other blending brushes. I have the Sigma E40 Tapered Blending, same deal. This one's a little bit longer, which is nice as well. I love blending brushes because eyeshadow's all about blending. I have this Sigma Precision Tapered P86 brush, which can also be used for in the crease. I've also used this in the past for blending out concealer under my eye or getting into that inner corner, which is really nice. I have the Sigma Duo Fiber Blend brush. It's the E41. I really like this. It's really, really long, so it's kind of nice for getting a darker color in the crease, but blending it out as well. So this is kind of new to me and I really like it. I kind of have some smaller blending brushes. These are more for like placing colors exactly where I want them when I want to be really clean. So of course my favorite, or used to be favorite, was the MAC 217 brush, but I think the Real Techniques Bold Metals 203 Tapered Eyeshadow Brush is better. I don't know if my MAC brush is just old or what, but this to me is a lot less scratchy, and I love this brush. I will use this to put color in my crease, but I will also use this to put shimmery colors all over the lid. I love this brush so much. And Sigma just recently sent me their version of this brush, which I'd never tried. It's the Blending E25. All along the same lines, and I keep all 3 because it's nice to have all 3 on hand when one's dirty with another color or something. I have the Sigma Small Tapered Blending E45. It's kind of more of like a pointed brush to get into that crease as well. So as you can tell, a lot of blending brushes and a lot of different like shapes and sizes because it just helps blend things out. For an all over the lid color, I like the Sigma Eye Shading E55. I know that a lot of people like this, but it's just kind of like a round domed flat brush, which is perfect for spraying with Fix Plus, dipping, and just kind of packing color onto your lid. Love it. Also along the same vein, I have the Sigma Cut Crease Brush E62, which I'm not very fancy with the cut crease, but I do use this for what I just said I use this for. I love this for kind of pulling my eye taut and really getting color in that crease and like getting a nice like like clean line, you know what I mean? I will blend it out, but I really like the, I don't know if this is synthetic or what, but I like the feel of this brush for putting on like foiled eyeshadows. This is kind of a random one, but I really love it. It's the Luxie 211 concealer brush. That's not what I use it for, although you could. But I like this to highlight my brow bone because it comes to a point. So it's just perfect for getting right in there and just blending it out, making sure it looks nice and smooth. But I also like this for highlighting the inner corner because of that point. So I have the MAC 212 brush. I very rarely put eyeshadow on the bottom of my lids, my bottom lash line, there's the word. I don't know, just for me, I just don't think it looks very good on me, so I usually just steer clear of it. But if I am doing something like that, or maybe some like liner up there, I do like this MAC 212 brush because it's just a very flat, thin line that's good for getting the color where you want it. And last but not least, I love the MAC 236 for a lot of things. I mainly use it for filling in my brows if I'm using a brow powder, but it's also great for using winged liner with like an eyeshadow. You could also use it to do the lower lash line. I have two of these as well. I just find it's a very nice brush to have on hand. Okay guys, those are all of my favorite brushes. I do want to touch on what I clean my brushes with. I use the Johnson's baby shampoo because I just like the way it smells, and it's just really effective at getting my brushes clean without leaving any like harsh scents or like feels behind, you know what I mean? I know it's kind of random, but that's what I use. I do have one of these Sigma Spa Experts cleansing mats. I don't think this is necessary. For one, mine doesn't stick to my sink. I don't know if that's my sink or what. Let me know if you have the same problem too. But it's basically just a silicone mat that has a bunch of different textures so that when you're cleaning your brush, it really gets in there and gets it clean, which it does. And I do like it for like some of the brushes, like foundation or something where the product is really deep in the brush and it's harder to get clean. It's nice to have one of these, but for the most part, I just use my hand. I will dip the brush in some baby shampoo and just use my hand and then run it under the faucet and squeeze it out. And you never want to get the barrel wet because the water could sink into the barrel and then your brush could break. But I get a lot of questions on how I cleanse my brushes, so I thought I'd just throw that in this brush video. But yes, as of today, February 2017, those are all of my favorite brushes. I hope you found this helpful or entertaining or whatever. I will have them all linked down below with my coupon code. And yeah, I feel like I just talked a lot, so I'm sorry if this was long. But I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Please subscribe. I'll have my face right here. I will have some videos and playlists you can click down below, and my social media links up in the corner. So love you guys. I'll see you very soon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.